Welcome. My name is Debbie and this is Pouring My Art Out for the Lord. And I'm continuing with a design team project for the Junk Journal Studio. I'm making 100 projects and I'm making the first 25 in a fall journal. So I'm using the instructions from Cindy A. Lewis called 100 Days of Junk Journal Pockets. You can pick up this printable on her coffee site. And it's just got every pocket that 100 days, and I think there's a couple bonus ones at the end. The instructions are all in here. She's also got a video every day. I think she's maybe up to 30 some now, but she's doing 100 days, I think kind of sequential. Maybe she'll miss a day here and there. And her friend Creating with Jovi is also doing 100 days of junk journal pockets, and I think there's a few other people following along. So if you want to see specifically how to make each pocket, I'm not going to show you that part. I'm going to leave the instructions to Cindy. So if you want to see exactly how to make each pocket, you can go over to her channel. I'll show you what I did in mine in a minute. When you make somebody else's stuff, you usually kind of put your own little twist on it, so I'll show you mine in a second. I thought I would just show you what papers that I'm using here from the Junk Journal Studio. So the main pages that I'm using is the Fall Bounty collection. There's 3 different kits. Kit 1 journal pages, Kit 2 coordinating pages, and Kit 3 embellishments. So 34 pages, 32 pages, and 32 pages. These are huge kits. So like over 100 pages total, or close to 100 pages total. So that's what I use for all of my papers in here, and most of my ephemera is from there as well. I'm also using a few different kits. I actually don't think I have this one. All Things Fall, distressed numbers, labels, tags, and tickets, and more. So that would be a perfect one as well. But I'm pretty sure I don't have that one, so I won't be using any of that this time. I do have the Fall Collage and Cluster Mega Pack, which is a wonderful pack. I just love everything in there. There's 37 pages, and there's like tea cards and labels and all that kind of stuff. So a little bit of that is mixed into here. There's also a specific mushroom collection, and I just have the odd little bit in here from there. After I make a few projects with the collections, then I just kind of mix everything together, so then I don't really remember. But most of the incidentals, like tags and not tags but labels and little fussy cuts and stuff, might be from these other collections. So there's mushrooms from Days Gone By, Kit 1 and Kit 2. And then she has lots and lots of label kits, and her label kits are absolutely fabulous. They're my favorite label kits on anywhere that I can find on Etsy or anywhere else actually. So she's got different label collections, several kits. Go and check her out on Etsy. This is labels from Days Gone By and labels from Days Gone By Volume 2. I don't think she has the number of pages here. They're probably like 30 pages or something like that. Lots and lots and lots of labels. And all of Michelle's labels are curated from vintage ephemera. She does not use AI for any of her labels. I don't think for any of her digitals either. So she goes to a lot of work to find all of these vintage pieces, and then finds just the right spot to pick a label out, and then cleans it up and recolors it and all that stuff. So she's gone to a lot of work for her labels, so they are fabulous. And then she's got a collection from Days Gone By and some other ones. I really like the red ones also for fall, so I probably will use a few red ones. She's also got random grungy labels from Days Gone By and All Things Distressed. And then she's also got like label collections with purple, yellow, turquoise, pink, pastel blue, dark blue, pastel green, and dark green. So anything you could possibly want is in there. And then she's also got, most of her stuff is on Etsy, but she's starting to put things onto coffee as well. So a few of her kits are on coffee. And I think they might be a couple pennies less on coffee because the fees are less on coffee for her. But her kits are so reasonable anyways for what you get. You just can't beat them. These are the freebies on coffee. She's got a few kits for sale, but these are the freebies. And there's a whole bunch more than this, but I just wanted to pick out a couple that were really good for coordinating with the fall kit. So there's mushrooms 1 and 2. This one is just some large stamps, and I really liked that one, so I decided I would print that one out. So those will be turning up in my embellishments. And then I think there's 3 pages of labels, autumn labels, so as freebies as well. So go check out her Etsy shop and her coffee shop if you're interested in any of those. So I'll just give you a tiny little flip through. I did numbers for each one of mine. So this is pocket number 1. And I did a little table of contents here. So I'm going to put 25 pockets in fall, 25 pockets in winter, 25 in spring, and 25 in summer. That's my plan. So I have the first 25 here, and these are all going to be in the fall journal. So I made this cover with an envelope. You can check that out in my playlist below. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're on 6 now. So 6 was called a V pocket, I believe. Yes, V pocket. So basically it was just a backing and two V's there. I glued it on 3 sides. So it's open at the back here as well. That's where I tuck this part in. And I didn't embellish this one because I wanted to just show you the structure of the V here first before I put something on here. But I just grabbed a fussy cut and a label from Michelle's Kits. And again, for these little incidental pieces, I really can't tell you exactly where they came from because I do mix them up after a while. But if you have, see where I want to glue that. If you have other kits or other fall decorations, the one thing about fall is the colors are pretty much the same for all fall kits. You know, they're the kind of warm oranges and yellows and reds and a little bit of green and that kind of stuff. Christmas is typically red and green, but a lot of Christmas stuff now is blue and silver and that kind of stuff, and you know, summer and spring can be anything. So I just wanted to tuck that on here. Probably just glue that a little bit more on here and a little bit probably on here. So that was how simple it was to, this is a really simple pocket and simple to embellish there. Just make sure I didn't glue this on. Oh, I did a little bit. Good thing I checked. I'll just leave that out until that dries completely. This one was a little bit different one. It was called, I just took the instructions that Cindy provided in her PDF and printed them again and tucked them into each specific page here. So this is a Zig Zag fold pocket, and this one is kind of a little bit different. It opens like that. So there's a little pocket here. Had something in here, I guess I took it out. So there's a little pocket there, a little pocket here. And then here you can do whatever you want. You can have writing space or whatever, but I decided to do a little circle pocket. Here's a mushroom, probably from the mushroom kit, and a little just piece that I can tuck into there. And then I folded it closed like this. I made some clusters. I think this is from the cluster mega pack because I made a lot of clusters. And I thought I would use a few of those here. This fall collage and cluster mega pack. I love these. There's one for winter. I'm not sure about spring and summer, but I know there's one for winter for sure. But I love those. Those are great, great kits to have. So then this one again, I just glued on 3 sides, here, here, and here. You could glue it, you know, 3 sides to open at the top or whatever. And then just tuck these over top of the instructions so the white doesn't show. And yeah, just embellish that with a cluster. So that was a really fun pocket. I hadn't seen this kind of pocket before, so that'll be a fun one to try. This was maybe a little bit more involved. I mean, not hard. But this one was called Envelope Flip Pocket. So this was using an envelope, and I used a window envelope. So there's the back of the envelope. Here's the front of the envelope with the window on it. You can fold it wherever you want it, and I think Cindy did it a little bit. I think she did it completely in half, so she did hers differently. Here I have just an image from the Fall Bounty ephemera kit. So I stuck that in there. And then here I glued another image for a pocket and put a few things in there. I glued a fussy cut at the back coming out of the pocket. I like to do that. I think that looks, and you take stuff out of the pocket and you still have something really cute to look at. And here's another piece of ephemera. I just glued on 3 sides there, and there's a little tuck there. And here's another piece of ephemera that I just put there to cover up the white. I did this little flippy thing, and when I close this pocket up, I just put this onto, I don't know if I'm trying to make it so you can see it, I just tuck it into the back of the pocket, so it doesn't come over the top, but it keeps it from, I don't know if you can see that, keeps it from not flopping open. So that's my little closure. I think I did this one a little bit different than she did, so you can check out hers. And then if you want to see exactly how I made some of these, if they look a little bit too different, check out her pocket first. But if I made some modification and you're not sure how I made it and you want to know, then let me know, and I can do a little bit of a demo on my next video. This one I think was called just a slanted side pocket. So this was just cutting a piece of paper. I use paper for most of mine. I think some people like cardstock. I like to use like heavier weight copy paper, 28 to 32 pound, and I find it more than strong enough for all of my pockets. I like to do envelopes with that. Most of this kind of ephemera I'll use cardstock, but I really like I don't know, I like the squishiness. I don't like everything so rigid, so that's why I use copy paper. So I did a second little pocket just on top here, and a little bit of decoration. Here's one of the tea cards. I love these tea cards. That was probably in the fall cluster mega pack, but I'm not positive. This was in the fall bounty collection, so I just put that on a piece of cardstock. So there's number 9 and number 10. I had the instructions for 10 and I lost them. They're somewhere on my desk here, so I thought I would just show you what I do here. I just kind of print them out, I rip them so it's super quick. And this one is called Window Pocket with Vellum. So this is a piece of vellum. She used some packaging. You could use acetate, you can use whatever you want. You could even use a window envelope for this one. But this one is actually, again, I used paper. She used cardstock, I believe. And I did a quarter inch, I think actually a 1/2 inch score from all 4 sides, and at the top I just folded it in and glued it down so it makes a little bit stronger lip for your pocket. I don't think she did that part. And then there's a gusset all the way around, so then your pocket, you know, goes from edge to edge. You know, sometimes you put a pocket this size and you glue it and the glue spreads a little bit and you can't hardly put anything in there. I like the gussets for that particular reason. So this is a nice roomy pocket called Window Pocket with Vellum. And this one, I just put a simple label here. I might even stick a fall leaf or something. I think these were from the Fall Cluster Collage and Cluster Mega Packs. I have a bunch of leaves here that I could do. Maybe a couple of leaves or something here. Yeah, that would look good because I cut them out with a little bit of a white border. I think I may have actually cut these out on my Cricut. I can't remember. But often when I'm fussy cutting, I'll leave a little bit of a white border. I find it easier to do that way. And then I just put a little bit of ink there. And I'll just glue those on. So if you have your ephemera kind of ready to go, it makes it really quick and easy to just grab something and glue it on. I'll just glue a little bit more on here. There. So there is my number 10, window pocket with vellum, number 10. So I love this project. I'm really happy that I started this. It's going to be a great resource as an idea book. So I'm trying to do about 5 pockets each week, and I'm going to post them probably mostly on Sunday. That's my schedule. So next Sunday I will have 11 through 15. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, yeah. So, and this particular journal will house, like I said, from 1 to 25, and then I'll move into winter. So, but I don't want to rush winter. So, loving how this turned out. Really simple to make the pockets and decorate. The Junk Journal Studios kits are just so fabulous that it just makes it super easy. I just, print out a page and cut out the piece of ephemera and tuck it in pretty much most of the time. I mean, you could do all kinds of fancy tags and stuff like that, but that's not the purpose of this book. It's an idea book. So thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with this series next Sunday. In the meantime, I'm also going to come on Tuesday for Truth Tuesdays. If you're not following along with Truth Tuesdays, Truth Tuesdays is a project that I'm doing with Diane Mara from Faith Art Design Studio. And so that's us there. And what we're doing is we're looking at common sayings in our culture. And the one that we're going to be looking at on Tuesday is trust the universe. So you hear that, you hear, all kinds of different versions of that. So we're going to look into the Bible, and we're going to just decide if that, put the Bible lens on that and see if that lines up with what the Bible says. So we do that every second week. We provide this worksheet for free if you want to follow along. It's in our Facebook group, and it's also various places you can watch and see what we're doing. We've done, I won't show you the one I did for this week yet. It's a surprise still, but this was week 1 we're doing a black and white and an accent color. So that was our first one for week 1. Week 2 was green, and week 3 was red. So that's the project, but you can do any project that you want with it. But that's coming up on Tuesday. And on Thursday, I've been going back in my coffee shop and just refreshing things. I've been open for about 4 years, so some of my stuff is in need of a little refreshment. Some things I'm taking down altogether, some things I'm updating and adding to. This particular week, I'm going to have something that's pretty much brand new. And I'm really excited about this one. So tune in on Thursday to check that out. And there's probably some more things that I'm missing coming up this week. So yeah, stay tuned to my channel and you won't miss anything. Thanks so much for watching. Blessings, and we'll see you soon.